Can you believe it? In India, foreign companies face no issues making money, but taking it out? Heh, good luck with that. Samsung and Volkswagen have really landed in hot water this time, targeted by India's tax authorities. A $600 million fine was slapped on Samsung, and an astronomical $1.4 billion penalty was levied against Volkswagen. The reasons cited are so bizarre, they leave one dumbfounded. Samsung's alleged crime, importing 5G equipment declared as electronic components, subject to a 5% customs duty. However, the Indian tax authority suddenly changed its tune, asserting that such equipment should be classified as communication equipment and taxed at 20%. Even though India itself had previously applied the 5% rate and Samsung presented evidence of past customs classifications, India dismissed it all with a startling justification. You knew it could be used in 5G base stations. Why didn't you advise us to amend the law? Thus, leveraging this moral high ground, they slapped Samsung with a $600 million fine and additionally penalised 7 Samsung executives a total of $81 million. Volkswagen's case is even more absurd. For 12 years, they imported car parts taxed at 5 to 15%, according to regulations. Suddenly, India took a magnifying glass approach, notionally assembling these parts into complete vehicles and accusing VW of circumventing the higher 30 to 35% tariff applicable to fully built cars. The charge? $1.4 billion in tax evasion. Volkswagen cried foul, stating they adhered to India's own import policies and paid taxes as required. How did this suddenly become malicious tax evasion overnight? India's response was bafflingly circular. You imported so many parts capable of assembling a whole car. Wasn't that deliberate? In reality, India's strategy of fleecing foreign capital through what critics call tax terrorism has long been infamous. Disputed tax penalties triggering international arbitration alone exceed $120 billion. Even major British and American corporations like Vodafone and IBM have been heavily targeted. Comparatively, Chinese companies have faced fewer such penalties, perhaps because Western firms are considered the fattest geese to pluck. The core driver behind this wave of actions appears to be India's foreign exchange crisis. Facing a large trade deficit and high external debt, India struggles with inadequate foreign reserves. Annually, it manages to gather around $160 billion in foreign currency through remittances from overseas workers, earnings from IT outsourcing, and controversially, proceeds from activities like telecom fraud. However, with foreign companies repatriating approximately $40 billion in profits each year, the pressure is immense. Since India cannot overtly impose capital controls, it seemingly resorts to these bizarre tax penalties as a way to force foreign investors to keep their money within India. The underlying message seems clear. Companies that reinvest locally face fewer issues. Those attempting to take profits out risk severe penalties, no negotiation. Doing business in India might be profitable, but getting your money out is tough. Do you believe India's approach will ultimately drive foreign investors away, or will companies be forced to grit their teeth and endure it? If it were you, would you still dare to invest in India? Let's discuss your views in the comments.